Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to a new video on my YouTube channel. Right now from the brand new Calisthenics Concepts gym, and in this video I want to talk about a very important topic for all athletes, especially for calisthenics athletes, and this is shoulder health. On YouTube you can find many tutorials on mobility and stretching exercises that help you to cure shoulder injuries that you already have. But in this video I want to start one step further. So we will take a look at techniques that you can use in your training to avoid shoulder injuries in the first place. So make sure to watch the full video to see the techniques and apply them in your training, so you are not the next athlete that needs to stop training because of shoulder injury. Guys, short disclaimer before we start the video. If you already have shoulder pain, please don't ask for medical advice in the YouTube comment section, because you won't find good help here. If you really have serious pain, go to a physiotherapist or visit a doctor and get professional help. So, the second part of the video won't be over the shoulder positions, but our upper arm position in the shoulder joint. And what I want you to take care of is avoid unnecessary internal rotations in calisthenics or in general in weight training exercises. Because in our daily life, we're sitting on the desk, we're always in that internal position, and our internal rotators like the pecs, our lats, there's really strong muscles, and the muscles that are responsible for external rotating movements, they're actually pretty small and not that strong. So the shoulders of most athletes are really imbalanced. So they really have a hard time to stabilizing their elbows and avoiding internal rotation movements. And to show you again what I mean by that, I want to show you a lot of examples, and this time I will also include some barbell examples, so my gym followers also know what's going on. So avoid these mistakes. The first example that I want to show you is the overhead press, and I want to show you which part of the movement is the unnecessary internal rotation that you can easily avoid. And what happens if you don't avoid them is that you again force internal rotation, and that causes more imbalance in your shoulder, and imbalances can lead to impingements, and impingements often are going around with pain. So just try to avoid that and stabilize your elbow position. So for that, let me show you an overhead press. The starting position should be this one. Your elbows are in front and under the bar or before the bar, because if you let them flare down, you again have that internal rotation here with the elbows. So keep your elbows in front and stabilize them there. Push up, and when you go down, only go to this point where you can stabilize it. If you go lower and your elbows go backwards, this is too deep for you. So stabilize it here, push up. And this behavior you can see on nearly every exercises. And to prove that, let me show to you again dips and pull-ups. We're back at the dips, but this time we don't talk about elevation or depression, but about the proper position of your elbows and how to stabilize them to avoid internal rotation. What I mean with internal rotation on dips, I will show you now, and I bet that most people have done this at least once, or at least they do it when the reps get heavy. But please guys, avoid that, your shoulder will thank you. And now I'll show you what I mean. You go down, and then when it's getting heavy, the elbows flare out, and you have that internal rotation. But what I want you to do is stabilize your elbows in that position and keep them there to avoid this movement, which again can cause imbalance, and imbalance can cause injuries. So, wrong, right, wrong, right. And again, I want to show you the same mistake on pull-ups. We already saw that in the previous pull-up video where we talked about the depression part, and there you could already see that mistake, that if you elevate your shoulders, what most likely also happens is that you go in an internal rotation part. And especially on pulling exercises, we only want the horizontal part. So on horizontal pulling exercises, we want to pull horizontal and keep our elbows in place and don't let them move backwards, because then again we force internal rotation, which is also the stronger part and which is also the part that in our daily life has the most impact. If we also force that in training, it can happen that this causes injury. It don't need to happen. People maybe train for years like this with no problems, but I bet a lot of you already experienced problems with that. So I would recommend you to do not force it and train with proper technique. And proper technique in this case is to avoid extra internal rotation. So let me show you again what it means on the pull-ups. At first, I will show you a pull-up with internal rotation or with extra internal rotation, and then one with stabilized elbows. And again, wrong and right. Wrong, right. So guys, to show you that the internal rotation is not only a problem on calisthenics exercises, I chose another example by the barbell bench press, and let me first show you where the internal rotation part can be a problem, and yeah, then you can check if you already did that and if you maybe need to avoid it. So to show you that, I chose my run rep max, which is 20 kg. So you have the regular bench press, and if your elbows are stabilized, you are kind of forcing to bend the bar in this direction, and now you're in a stable position. Boom. And if the weights are getting heavy and you can't control this anymore, what most likely happens is that you press up like this. And there you have it again, the internal rotation part. So fix your elbows, bend the bar, go down, push up. And not do it like this. And these principles, if you once understand them, you can transfer them to every exercise, and you can now train every exercise with proper form. And if you do that, I promise you, you won't get shoulder pain from your daily exercise routine. Of course, you can get pain by falling or having an accident, but training won't be a problem anymore.